people, how are we going on? So it's push day and we have got big news. Prep is fucking flying and I've had my check-in with my coach and I'm getting more food, which is fucking lovely. So I'll tell you more about this in the vlog, but essentially we are on point. We've had a big drop in scale weight this week. Condition has improved dramatically. We've ditched a hell of a lot of fluid retention, and now what we're going to do is we're going to ditch some fatigue. We're going to increase food and we're going to refeed for a period of time, and then we're going to push. So we're at the 8-week mark now. We're going to increase food, and I'm going to talk about the specifics later on. We're going to decrease fatigue, and we'll talk about the specifics later on, and then that'll get us ready for a 7-week all-out fucking mayhem, just absolute crazy push to get into stage ready condition. Like, we're already seeing a lot of feathering into the legs, we're seeing obliques in, vascularity is in, you know, condition is looking good for at this point, and now it's a case of washing off some fatigue and making sure we are good to go for the final push. We are 8 weeks out and 11 weeks out, so guess what? Time is now. Now this is going to be my last big session for 5 days. I checked in with my coach this morning and everything is flying. So because we're on schedule, we're now 8 weeks away from the first show, I'm being forced to rest. So we're going to be having 4 or 5 days off weights completely. We're going to be having 4 or 5 days off cardio. We're going to be having 4 or 5 days with minimal steps, so I'm being forced to sit down and it's just going to be transient steps that I just accumulate throughout my day. But the most important thing is I'm getting 200 extra carbohydrates. So we're getting extra 200 grams of carbs for the next 4 days and 10 grams of fat. So my food has gone up from 2100 calories to 3000 calories, which is going to be fucking amazing. The main reason for this is when we're in a prep, you can dig and dig and dig, but the goal it's not a dieting competition, it is a bodybuilding competition. So when you step on stage, you do not want to be looking like you're fatigued and flat and have no muscle mass. You want to be on that stage looking the biggest, leanest version you possibly can be. In order to achieve that, sometimes you need to refeed, rest, and preserve as much muscle tissue as possible. So that's this point right now. We're going to rest, we're going to feed up, and then we're going to push for the next 7 weeks just to make sure that we're on condition. One of the reasons why we've been able to do this is over the last 2 weeks we've really seen condition come in. We've seen lines in the quad, we've seen oblique and ab veins come in, and condition is really getting close to that point now where every little thing fucking matters. So can't wait. 1 rep in reserve. So even though we're going hard, we're still leaving 1 rep in the tank. So go hard, stimulate the muscle to grow, don't be a dick. That's the rules. We really saw condition come in even in the last 2 days. I had Birmingham, so I drove to Birmingham, did my client my client shows, drove back and the fatigue were massive. I dropped 1.8 kilos overnight, and literally overnight I went from being in alright shape to looking fucking shredded. Now that's not body fat, that's water. People talk about the whoosh, where your body just lets go of loads of water. That happened, and I'll put a progress photo up here, and that is just night and day. Probably 1.8 kilos of water just flushed out the system, and it just shows so much more detail. And this is why people freak out when they don't lose scale weight. You're still losing body fat, but sometimes instead of body fat, it's water that's being retained, and then you need to get rid of that water to reveal the physique. Saved it. Sugar free before you fucking stay out. I had 8 Weetabix this morning. Fucking phenomenal. Highlight of my morning. Matched on from last week. Fucking mint. I do feel jacked, to be fair. It's the first week that I've felt jacked. It's nice as well because people are making comments, and I've said this before, I feel dead awkward when people make comments, but it's nice when a lot of people are making comments at the same time. So we are having 5 days of essentially deload. My coach wants me to have 5 days completely off, no cardio, no gym at all. And for some people that would be a dream. For me, that is not a fucking dream. I think that would be fucking mental. So we've kind of compromised. I'm going to be coming in, I'm going to be training, but I'm only going to be doing 1 set, and it's just going to be a light set as well. So it's not going to be in balls deep, it's going to be in light pump, and it's going to be more for headspace. People manage deloads differently. Some people love to have rest and time away from the gym, whereas I actually love being in the fucking gym. This is my place, this is where I come, and I'm always a happier person because I'm in the gym. So it is that compromise, be in the gym and keep your head sane, but also we've got to be focusing on rest. We've got to make sure that that rest is achieved, and we'll do that by only doing 1 set, only doing pump work, and making sure that we're letting that fatigue wash out. Because if I just be a dick and come in and train balls deep anyway, I know I'm not going to be presenting the best physique on stage just because I've not done what my coach has asked me to do. And that's the key. If you have a coach, do what your coach fucking says. If you don't do what your coach says, what's the point of having a fucking coach? Like I was very nervous. Like prior to this week, I was really nervous about the shows. I was worried that I wasn't going to be big enough. I was worried that I wasn't going to be lean enough. I was worried that my posing was going to be shit. And I think combination of, I went to see the show and I saw what kind of level of competitors were, still far and above where I am now, but it gave me confidence. And also with condition coming in this week, all of a sudden, it was like the perfect timing for my body to actually start playing ball. Perfect timing to give me that little bit of a confidence boost. And now, I'm excited. I'm excited that I might actually look decent on stage. I'm excited that I'm going to look so much better than the last time I stepped on stage, because that's one of my fears, is I don't look better than the last time. Because I had no place being on that stage first time round, because I just looked shit. Whereas this time, I think I'm going to be in the mix. I think I'm going to be there. I think I'm going to look decent on stage. So the excitement is fucking coming. So, during this deload, we're going to have more food. Now, again, when we're deloading, we need to make sure we're managing fatigue, and we need to make sure that we're not losing too much muscle tissue, because despite being on anabolics, despite lifting weights, you are running the risk of losing a little bit of muscle tissue just because you're in such a big deficit. So we spend the next 5 days, I've got an extra 800 calories. That's coming from around 200 extra carbs, also 10 grams more fat. I don't know if those numbers are exactly right, but it's around those figures, give or take. And all that's going to allow us to replenish some of those glycogen stores in the muscle bellies. It's going to help to wash out a little bit of fatigue, and it will also help with reducing a little bit of water retention, just as we put more carbs into the system, we're likely to dry out even more in the physique, because for every gram of carb and glycogen that goes into the muscle, it draws in 4 grams of water. So if I'm not increasing my water intake, where's that water coming from? It's going to be that interstitious space between the muscle belly and the skin. So I actually might start looking leaner despite the food going up. Now, we don't want to be going into a surplus. So the calories that I've been given is my predicted maintenance, because I don't want to gain any body fat, because you just got to take that off again, but we do want to recover. And I fucking love eating more food, so this is a welcome break, because I have been hungry. Who doesn't love eating more food? I didn't track that last set. Shit. Oh, there is no majestic way of getting into this exercise. the thing that everyone wants to know about. So at this point in prep, this is where I'm going to be at my second highest androgenic load, just because I'm only 8 weeks away. So we aren't at peak dosage yet. I'm still going to be taking more towards the end of the show, just to get a bit more of a visual effect. But throughout the whole prep, I've been on 300 milligrams testosterone. That's been my base. And then all we've done is we've increased the masteron throughout prep. So at the minute, I'm taking 300 milligrams testosterone and 1,000 milligrams of masteron. Now that sounds like a lot, but masteron, we know it's one of the safer compounds to use. We know it does a job, and it does help manage estrogen, and my estrogen always runs quite high, hence why I can't use that much testosterone. So we've been increasing masteron, and now we're at that edge where we're like, okay, we're at that peak androgenic load. We will be incorporating Winstrol, we will be incorporating Anavar later on, but that is later on. But PEDs are high, and to be honest, I'll be looking forward to when they drop, because that amount of injections per day, per week, is a pain in the ass, literally. Oh, triceps and we're done. Fuck me. That's us done. Fuck it. Alright, let's get some posing done. Fuck it.